That is not lost on me. So, it's also unfortunate that it comes as they hit their stride, because a lot of people were very
approved. It's just extra paperwork that's taking longer.
Difficult time to live in, but hopefully things do work out. It looks like we are finally into the action. We had some brief delays, but thankfully they stayed brief. Looking for Org starting on the CT side of this map. That means they chose to start on the defense.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. It's kind of come more into vogue as of late.
Yeah, not opposed to it. And Merle, who seems to be in here right now for looking for Org.
I don't know if it's Doom or not.
In the server.
Yeah.
Unless it is Doom. Not sure if it's Doom playing under a different name. It does happen. Gets that opening, and Nightblade, it's dinked. Klasia, there's the kill for Nouns. But a trade right back again. Second one for Merle. Doing a lot of work there from lower tons, and Nouns are stuck on Cat with nowhere really to go against the long-range USPs.
Yeah, kind of stalling out. And lost 666 is Nightblade. Just so we're all clear, it doesn't matter. He won't have much effect in the round. Junior gets him. Magic, though, a quick trade. Junior, the P250 Super Soldier, though, looking to bring his team back into the round. Finds another onto Merle. Bomb plant now secured. Looking for Org, though, still far from out of this round. Evan lurking up the catwalk, spams towards site. Junior's now alone, but he has support from Long. Magic trying to isolate one duel or another. It's Junior instead to triple down, and Momo, the substitute, the stand-in, to find the final kill in the round to bring things back from what looked like an incredibly stalled take over towards the A site.
Yeah, somebody had to step up and be the big man on campus for Nouns. Junior answers the call. And that's a good start for him, not making it work with the op, but making it work with the P250. Always nice to have a P250 on T side, especially on a map like Dust2. On that pistol round, makes it work marvelously. Now we'll see what the Nouns can do against the full USP non-buy from looking for Org. A nade already used, a flashbang in hand, a Mac 10 on 3 to farm up some money. And a full-on long push coming in from LFO into the waiting arms of Momo, who drops the molly, softens up his opposition, and he reads that perfectly. The flash will not allow T-Man to get anything, and Momo's double-dipping attempt is successful. Cryptic now scaling up, only a one-for-one duel. Kind of disadvantage in a way at that long range, but he gets the headshot with the Mac 10. Momo, however, finally falls, and Cryptic does as well. So 2 kills out of the USP round for looking for Org is not too shabby at all. Both Mac 10s, sure, but that's not bad damage considering they bought $500 worth of equipment.
Yeah, given the minimal investment, 2 kills is something you can be okay with. Obviously, you want more, but hey, something's better than nothing. You can't be greedy when you invest next to nothing. It was Evan and Nightblade to get those 2 kills. Can't upend the round outcome, though. Full M4s for looking for Org. No op, good utility, but they're lacking some helmets, which is a bit worrisome with the Galils and Mac 10 in play. Early presence shown towards long for both teams, but Nouns quickly adjusting towards middle. Peeping's all the way up. The smoke, though, leaves a lot to be desired. He spotted crossing. Good damage on the Magic.
Smoke.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's for the cross. That makes sense. Never mind.
But that didn't work for the cross either. That was just that was a miss smoke. 100% miss smoke.
Worrying signs early on. Even footing. Next to no utility left for looking for Org. A Molotov and a flash. No kit either, I should note. And
yeah,
no one with helmets. Yeah, no kit on the ground either. These Galils are effectively AKs. Boost up for Junior. Tavin is here on site, but will he expect this boost? He does go for the clear. Good shot from Tavin. Secures the advantage. Nouns, though, will still continue on to the site regardless. Evan lurking through B. Perfectly timed finds that, and Tavin triples down on the A site. First rifle round going the way of looking for Org, and they're showing us why they were that first seed coming into playoffs.
That was a clean retake there. Or clean hold, I should say. Clean finish to the round for LFO. Tabbing some good work there on the site. Good little push upper tons down to lower by Evan. And then not overextending on picks, just kind of working with the man advantage and funneling Nouns into it. The clear as well onto the boost up was well done. There's the smoke for the cross, and now Peepin's going to run out long. The flashbangs from both sides will enable him to get out, but there's 4 players from the CT side out here, and Cryptic's going to go down. Peeping does get one. He's still fighting, but Nightblade goes and runs out of ammunition. It's a P250 kill for Momo, and now blind sprays from the CTs trying to keep this at a 3 versus 3, maybe tack on a man advantage here, but it's a retreat from Nouns and a sprint towards mid. Evan's alone on B, no kit, no util. If he goes down one and done, that's not enough, but there's a 1 tap for him, 2 tap for Evan, looking for the 3rd. It's a spray and pray, but he's got cavalry coming through CT, won't even need it. Crispy from Evan, a great read from LFO, and 2 rounds straight in the board on the bounce, tying things up.
Individuals waking up early for looking for org. We saw the 3K from Tabin on the A site in the round prior, and we see this crispy hold on B from Evan, playing this timing perfectly on that final kill. A quick rebuttal once the rifles come out for looking for org, who now have a tied scoreline at 2 versus 2. And Nouns' economy has been sent to a difficult spot. Junior is investing. Most of the other squad is saving. Cryptic's down to like 1250, but yeah, Scout would make sense. It is very potent in his hands.
Tag him and bag him. That was an impotent nade.
I thought I was going to do more. I was actually going to hit Peeping, but it didn't go quite far enough. He's hugging the tunnel wall.
That's a lot of utility used by Tabin down bottom mid with no end result. And Nouns are going to take advantage of the CT smoke to go all the way up. That's a good spot, though, from Merle. Nade goes in. Junior is destroyed. 11 HP left. He ate all of that nade.
Good spot from Merle. Tabin again continuing to be a menace on this A site, finding one support flash from Magic. Pistols are just kind of dawdling at this point, hoping that someone gets over-aggressive for information. Magic on Catwalk, he is that player to get over-aggressive. It's again Momo's P250 to strike. Now Tabin at Goose, has support at long, but a lot of players coming in his direction. He gets one. Flavored spray, full blinded by his teammate, I believe. He still finds a second. Kalasia gets the trade, but Merle keeps things under wraps, getting 2 on the lineup and preventing the bomb plant. Looking for org, take away the lead early on when the rifles come through. The question is, can Nouns stifle this early momentum?
Yeah, Nouns honestly might be considering a timeout here early on because this is their pick. And you do not want to lose your pick with Anubis' map 3. If you're Nouns, you want to finish this in 2. They've not been able to stand up to LFO individually yet, and the utility damage from LFO, once they've actually been able to buy it, has been relatively good, aside from that one little failed nade out middle. The other nades that have been used have been decently successful. Cryptic down to 60 HP off of one early on in this one. The op's out for Tabin as well, holding out middle. Does have support from Merle. Does not quite hit the skeet shot. Tries to predict the positioning of Peeping. It's just off by a little bit. But Nouns looking very scared in a lot of ways on these T-side mid-rounds. And then when they start going out, they go out a little haphazardly. And look at that, backstab. It was one way or another. Cryptic was done. And no refrag attempted there for Nouns. No refrag possible. Tabin is chunked on the escape, but not a realistic chance to take him down.
Nope, and now the flame from Nightblade, who's all the way bottom middle, jumping up Catwalk, finds a second. The Scout finally rings through, but it's only to trade out his 2 fallen comrades. Junior and Momo now, the final pair alive versus 4. With 35 seconds left and no real commanding control anywhere on the map, the spam from Merle is simply unreal. Momo posted on the angle, gonna go through the doors, but Merle's ahead of it, and he'll swing on a timing to get the kill onto that stand-in. Momo, he's been doing quite well, but Again, it's been the looking for org game ever since the rifles have come out.
Again, a very clean round win by LFO. Another 4-man alive gun round. And here is that timeout from Nouns. The only problem is they're not going to be able to get any rifles unless they want to go all in here. They can get Galils. That's a really questionable idea here. It almost feels like a waste of a timeout.
I'd say Tech 9 armor, rush B, maybe lower. But things have been bad for Nouns. They got the bomb plant pistol round, and I don't think they've gotten close since. Now, the second round was a stomp it long, and then once the rifles have come through, they haven't gotten close. So, pressure's on early. Now, Nouns is a team that is slightly more CT-sided on this map, so they're starting on the weaker of their two sides. But still, they shouldn't be struggling against a team with a record that's this shabby on Dust2.
Yeah, Nouns are not just looking out of place, looking for org, or looking in place. They're locked in, as the kids say these days, Nate. And they're hitting everything. And it's up and down the lineup.
Yeah, it's much like what we saw yesterday in map 1 for Marsborn. It's everybody doing their job and then some. Magic's turn at bat, swinging off the contact of the op, getting one, doing so much damage to a second, getting away as well. Now, Nightblade at long gets one. A good trade from Clazer, but Taven now is going to be challenged in a big way. Two players here. He gets the first cleanly onto his rival, Junior. And Magic is here as a redundancy, holding the angle, keeping Clazer from getting the trade. But Magic does need to be careful. He has low HP, and now Clazer has an M4 in hand. Final pair, both at long. And there's the M4. Peeping the last alive, 18 HP. Not long for this world, as the op of Taven wants to go on a little bit of a show. 3 for him in the round. It's against pistols, but still. He's rocketed to the top of the board at 10 kills, and yet Merle is still atop with the ADR at 115 ADR per round.
Yeah, Taben's been crispy with the op. He's been crispy with the rifle, but that last flick is indeed a confidence boost and a display of it as well. Nouns. They called the timeout into the last round. They get their guns now. And Junior's looking for a lower tons cross. Gets the spot late, and he'll just back away. This Nouns roster is looking for a way back into it. Taben gets caught by peeping. There's something to go for him. He had 1 kill prior to that. Doubles his count. And that is a critical entry on a heavy hitter for looking for org. Good start there for peeping.
They can get him activated. That would give them a shot. He is far and away their star.
Yeah, you shouldn't have Momo second fragging right now.
No, you should have probably Junior at the top given the map, but definitely peeping at a close second.
Junior, peeping, Clasia, 1, 2, 3 in some form of order. In my opinion.
Yeah. If it was a cryptic of old, you'd have him randomly at the top every once in a while, but
he still does that every once in a while.
It feels like it's more seldom, though.
Yes, but also it was like, why is cryptic at the top? It usually meant that somebody else wasn't doing the job.
That is true.
And Cryptic's going to get chased away by Nightblade, repositioning around Dumpster. Jumps up, that's an aggressive peek, but Junior's there for the trade. Good way to make sure your IGL does not fall in vain. Clasia with the flames and the spray eliminates Magic, but Merle right there for the refrag. 3 versus 2, bomb plant on the A site imminent here for Nouns. Plant for Cat, that's where everyone from Nouns came, never mind. They'll go for the long plant here and get Junior over into pit from the looks of it. Momo and Peeping keeping an eye on Cat and CT respectively. Split long and Cat for LFO. Op for Evan. They might just save, although they've got a lot of money. They don't like the look of this retake, and they're just going to tuck tail and run.
Yeah, the economy for them is good, but it's not great. Nightblade's at 1,700. Everybody else is quite healthy, but I want to even things out. Don't hate the call. I would like to see a lot of confidence, though, coming out of this team, given the seeding they've earned.
Terrorists win.
Bomb goes off. First bomb plant in quite a while. Now the question is, will Nouns string rounds together, or will their victory be isolated by looking for Org, who still have a very solid investment into round 9?
They got the op back in Tabin's hands as well. That's very important. But a good opening pick from Peeping on to the very same man. Got things started for Nouns. And everybody else did their job well. Especially that trade from Junior. And he'll start it out with an opening pick, but he'll burn for his troubles. Magic retreating to the site gets credit for the kill. And Glacier takes a significant amount of damage on that entry as well out long. Don't know if that was worth it for the one pick.
Rifler for Opera on Dust2 does feel difficult. Especially with that damage on Glacier, who's now forced to op as well, given how low his HP is, or he feels he's forced to op at least.
I mean, it's not a bad idea to have somebody hold on to that, and who else realistically is going to be secondary op on this roster?
It's true. Evan, all the way up middle. I was going to say he's unexpected, but Peeping's ready for that exact peak. Good kill from him. Again, getting Peeping activated is a big part of Nouns' plan and playoffs aspirations. And Nouns will fake the death cam, double back towards A. Do looking for Org. Read this, at least for the time being, they are. Tabin's holding middle and B. His other two teammates are on A. So still going to be a difficult take for Nouns.
Momo can be that rotator kill. Take out Tabin. That would be big. Flash in, Merle tries to peek. There's one from Glacier, survives the contact as well. Magic drops down, does a little bit of damage, and almost eliminates Cryptic on the spray, but Peeping goes over top of the smoke. Tabin, though, catches out Momo, expects it. He's going to save, and Nouns should not go too hard for this hunt. Their economy's not great. It's actually quite bad. So they should be on to save here themselves, not going for the hunt. Although Peeping's charging for this all the way through tunnels. He wants this refrag. He wants to drop that op. And it would be good economically. He might just have it as well. Yes, he does. And a little aggression goes a long way for Peeping and Nouns as they've closed the gap to 1 round here. And now it's looking like LFO might need to call a timeout when they have a bye next.
Yeah, their economy has now been humbled. They're going to scrap something together, but it's not pretty. Nightblade's on a FAMAS. They're lacking, actually I was going to say they're lacking utility. Not really. They have enough. 1 kit for Magic covers that issue. James Op is looking for this early cross. The issue is no one has gone for it thus far. They've been very studious in using their smokes. This boost on Catwalk, though, not expecting and neglecting the push middle, gives Cryptic a free opening onto the Op Catwalk. A big scalp to find early on. Now with lower tons clear, Nouns have firm control of middle.
Firm control, man advantage. Momo keeping an eye on information long A. Dust2 is Nouns' oyster right now. That's a free spam from Glacier too. Just gets lucky on the timing. Merle trying to see over that smoke, and he pays for it with a hail of bullets. Peeping, holding for the push upper. They know Evan's been doing that quite a bit throughout this first half. That is a great adjustment from Nouns, who, off the back of the timeout, have really taken control of this game. They've made all the right reads, all the right adjustments, and even now they've got time, so they're not rushing to a site with the bomb. They're making sure they make the proper and correct decision, risking nothing.
Slowing it down, knowing that looking for Org, get aggressive. Love this look from Nouns. Magic gets one at long. Bomb's going down on B, and there's no chance that these two try to go for the retake.
No.
Nightblade's going to get the upgrade and try to survive with his teammate, but Nouns might be keen on trying to hunt these rifles down.
They already have 2 players in position, Glacier and Cryptic. They know at least where one is. I think you can extrapolate where the other is as well from that information. Flash peek, contact double swing, messy kill, but a kill nonetheless. Leaving Nightblade to hang around blue and just try and survive. Nobody's coming doors at least, so he only has to focus on one direction. 3 players coming in, Molly onto his position, doesn't even get one. Kalasia had 2 HP and he still survives that contact. And tie ball game here, heading into the penultimate round of the first half. No buy here for looking for Org, and Nouns a chance to take this 7-5 if they can do everything right.
Would be a remarkable return to form given their slump come early rifle rounds. Their timeout, though, really paying off, as you mentioned. And Cryptic, reading into the economy, goes for the greedy call. He buys a Mac 10, looking to harvest even more cash and be even more of a menace in this round. Looking for Org. What do we have? 3 Deagles, a P250, and Junior, maybe finally a chance at early contact. Middle, never mind. Evan, though, on catwalk, finds one top. Peeping, does good damage in response. That nade should be chunky as can be. Oh my goodness. So much damage.
And a molly. Forcing 2 into contact. Merle's going to pop out lower. Does get the trade, but there's Junior for the refrag. A little bit of a costly hold the phone. If Kalasia got that kill into Magic, yeah, okay, a little bit of a costly round. Now there's a chance. No armor, sure. But Evan's still around and kicking. He's going to grab an upgrade too.
And fast
AKs long for these 2 players. Momo and Junior to lock it down. With Junior alive, though, I do have to give Nouns a pretty good chance at closing this round out. Timing though, Momo gun not out. Junior's gonna run. An op in a 1 versus 2 takes the first through the fire. 26 HP. Nade goes up. Nade goes down. Wrong direction. Junior spots the head. And Junior clutches up big time. 3 on the round and saves it for Nouns. That was well played, well angled by Junior. Full of confidence, and quite frankly, if you got the call up to complexity that very same day, I think you'd be playing with a lot of confidence too.
Best foot forward. Expect nothing less for playoffs. Much less the call up. Clinical 1v2 for him. Evan had the right read, the right play. Perfectly timed peek it long. His teammate on catwalk waited a hair's breadth longer.
That Molotov.
Yeah, that's true. Early stack tons for Nouns. They're looking to punish Evan's aggression once again. His presses have been second to none. Wins the fights more often than not. Pretty slow one for Nouns, but it always centers around eventually going for mid control. Makes sense for Dust2.
Evans watched for. Flash in, Evans tagged. Junior can see again. Evans running, and Junior will not go for the refrag. Molotov into chain link, though, might just be enough. And Peeping actually comes up through middle to finish off Evan. There's one in the window. They know where he is. Peeping's doubled up. Nightblade falls in the interim as the lurk of Cryptic will catch him off guard. Last 2 LFO players stuck in CT. Magic does find the one headshot on to Kalasia, but Cryptic's working around. Magic, though, a second. Peeping sticks his neck out a little bit too far. Here comes Junior, though. Aggressive opping. Cryptic with a backstab. And Nouns, despite a slide, down 5-2, bring it to a 7-5 into the halftime break.
A whirring start to the rifle rounds for Nouns is assuaded as they find their footing and take a narrow lead heading into the second half of their map pick, Dust2. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic. And Nouns now on the defense. Double dualies for Cryptic and Peeping. Cryptic has no armor. Clasia has a kit smoke. Lots of utility and weapons dispersed on this Nouns defense. Looking for Org though. Gonna go for a late press long while Merle springs the trap middle. It's an interesting call, but I think it will work out. They aren't quick on taking control. They're still just walking.
Yeah, they're taking their sweet time, and Cryptic's up close and personal. Contact has finally been made. As Junior backs away, that smoke giving a lot of space. Cryptic does fall, but Junior at Gandalf will at least deny one, the cross of the bridge of Khazad-dûm. Going back for more. Peeping's picked up some dualies, but he goes 1-for-1. 2 versus 2 now, late in the round. Glasia, another headshot. Tabin has one of his own. They both know where the other is. Timing comes down to it, but Glasia's able to get the reload off. Doesn't matter in the end. A round for looking for Orb by the skin of their teeth. And Tabin continues his incredible game.
It was an awkward round, but one that looking for Org are happy to have in their pocket. They're now well on their way to tying this game back up. But Nouns will not go quietly into the night. They're going to force, unlike their opponents in the first half. 2 MP9s, 2 5.7s, and a Scout, Junior's classic weapon on this map. Early aggression middle down towards lower tons. Merle, content out long. Death by 1,000 cuts is the call for Momo, who just can't get the headshot on that 5.7. Very fickle pistol. That Scout, though, has repositioned to sight. Tags Tabin, takes damage in return. Tags are all that Junior is aiming for in a round like this.
Very even from both sides. 1 on B from each, 3 out towards A for each. Now looking for Org, beginning to reposition things. Peeping versus Magic. Magic reads it well, but Peeping gets the drop on him. And he'll just back away. Even 4 versus 4 now. Tabin again low. Merle at 60. Over at long, Nightblade goes for the contact. Junior's there. Freebie on the tagged player. Again, Tabin's low. So is Merle. They're both one-shot scout shots. Clasia backstab, though. That gives a man advantage over to Nouns here on the force buy. Now Junior holding the sight. Has that the scout in hand, the pocket op. And Clasia and Junior mop it up in the end.
3 surviving as well. AK recovered for Junior. That is quite the round for Nouns to steal away. And it felt like looking for Org to spread themselves too thin, gave themselves too many openings, and thus isolated themselves to different duels. Clay's getting that free one on Catwalk, the free kill in Tunnels, I believe for the very same player. Junior isolating the trade long onto Nightblade. Too many openings for Nouns to get free kills in 1v1 situations, and that's not what you want to be giving away to a compromised investment.
No, and they get all 3 rifles out of that. 2 AKs into Galil. So all they had to do to buy into this round was to get an AUG, get utility, and get an M4. Oh, and a couple of defuse kits. Minor detail there.
Still, most of the economy is invested.
That is true. Peeping and Momo only have money left, and Momo only has 1,100, so that's not ideal. Deagles and Tech 9s. We've seen Evan have some sick Deagle shots. See what he can do on the T side, though. Not holding the angle, but having to push. Flashbang goes high. Junior waits. Ready to pop out and start spraying. Junior around. Gets nothing. A blind Evan eliminates him. As now Cryptic is stuck between a rock and a hard place trying to fight his way to freedom. Does get one shot. But the T's control the A site. They control the catwalk. Clasia and Peeping have to be careful. That smoke will only last for so long. And Merle's around the edge of it. Going in for the pick. No, he hasn't been spotted, and the running from Clasia might just distract Nouns have to go pretty quickly here. They're running out of time, and the Molotov is not going to help Peeping get up Catwalk. There's 2 quick kills from Momo. They know where Magic is. He's stuck behind the flames, and he's put to bed. Do they have a kit there? Yes, they do. And Nouns will have the defuse in the nick of time. Their lead back to 3. So look to stabilize and close out map 1, moving into Ancient here momentarily.
Definitely down to the wire, though. Last minute. If 1 kill doesn't go their way, if Cryptic's dropped entering into the site, there's no chance of the defuse because the other kid's all the way back on Catwalk. Still, they win it, and I'll get a full investment, including that op for Junior. Looking for Org will once again try to force buy. This time it's better than the last. 2 Mac 10s, 3 Galils, some utility, and a mixed bag of success out long. They get 1 kill, but they take a boatload of damage for it. Cryptic is still around as well. Looking for Org with that opening are already thinking about going in a different direction instead.
Nobody holding the B side proper. Glasia is watching both mid and B itself. Peeping's information or lack thereof from Cat might give Nouns the inkling to go back to B, and yes, Glasia is going to run in. Post up on site. There are 2 low HP players, and he does start off with 1. Spots another. 2 more headshots. Glasia for 3. On for the ace. Flashed away, but he's still alive and kicking. Will not grab the ace, but he's done more than enough. The nade will not finish off Tabin. It's far too shallow, but Glasia salvages the round again for Nouns. He needed 2 there. 3 would have been great. 4 more than ideal, and Junior just doesn't quite get that one. Was expecting Tabin to full commit. Nade will do all the damage but 2. And eventually, the last remaining member of LFO will fall, or will lose the round to time, which I'm sure Nouns would not be upset about, but they'll get him before it expires anyways. Save us about 20 seconds of time, and get on to round 17. But again, let's see if we get that replay from Glasia. That was simply brilliant individual work.
Yes, it was. The pair here, it's not even a transfer. They're just both in the same spot. And almost a second pair in the very same fashion. Quite a round for Glasia, who's known for his individual exploits. It's him and Junior atop the scoreboard right now.
And Peeping at 3rd. That's exactly what I wanted to see from Nouns.
And Peeping and Glasia are interchangeable in terms of the order. Looking for Org, finally forced to capitulate, forced to save. Got some upgraded pistols, and that's about all. This should be Nouns on their way to an 11th, and from there, looking for Org, almost out of runway in this first map.
Yeah, that runway is definitely shortening quickly. They have 1 more buy left in them, really. Peeping and Cryptic getting more kills, as this one will be cleaned up soon enough. A little bit of a messy spray there from Peeping, but goes to the sidearm to finish the job. Solid, flawless anti-eco from Nouns. Buy up here from looking for Org. And this is their last hope for this map, realistically speaking. They'll have their op again. They'll have their AKs, their utility. The money will not be there should they lose it, and they'll be 6 rounds up against the wall of map point for Nouns. A technical pause, though, was called here. And we'll see how long this one lasts. Comes at a pretty inopportune time for Nouns.
Yes, it does kind of stymies their momentum a little bit. You do see Merle picking up the op as well. I'm wondering if he's going to drop it over to Taven or if he's going to keep it for himself. Exactly, the spawn looks perfect for him, though. No one is disconnected yet either, so I think that's a good sign.
We'll await further news and instructions about what this one is going to look like here. I'm assuming it's something to do with a ping or a dead mouse or something. I don't think anyone's using a wireless headset in this day and age, but it could be a dead headset too.
I use a wireless headset.
You do, yes. I just don't think they're very common amongst the competitive scene. Like a wireless mouse is, you know?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm competitive. Okay. Make no mistake.
I forget. You're the most competitive Roblox player I know.
All right. That was an insult. We're going to have to change the topic after that kind of slight.
I was going to say tennis, but...
Not competitive, and that never was.
Still good.
Oh, it's trash.
Southpaw.
It's fair enough.
That gives you an advantage, though.
It does. We go for a car ride, it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, looks like Momo might have DC'd and come back.
Maybe.
Because I didn't notice him, then he just popped out. Maybe that's all it was. Waiting for Momo.
Swapping his gun around, making sure there's no frame drops. No loss.
Got a butterfly knife. What else do we have?
It's an op fade.
Yeah. Does Junior have a double matching set of gloves and ops? Because you know he has
Probably.
the Gunganir on T side.
Probably getting dripped out for the major.
Oh yeah. Well, he's had that Gunganir for a very long time.
Matchmanic in, which means that the issue should hopefully be done and dusted.
Yeah, we should be getting back into the action here. Also, who has a default AUG? Is that Cryptic?
Probably.
It's either Cryptic or Clasia. How do you have a default AUG, man?
Cryptic is that type of obtuse, I can tell you that for sure.
I do like the AUG, though. I'm glad it got its buff, which not recent anymore. But here we are, back into the action and looking for Org. Need this gun round and quickly. Look at the aggression from Junior. All the way up middle with the op in hand. The Gunganir peaks. The Gunganir strikes. And Junior escapes for free. The opening pick goes his way. But Magic, a wicked little headshot onto Peeping, will level it at 4 apiece.
Big trade to find. Evan and Momo, though, both at long. Who wins this duel? It's Evan. Cleanly as well. Doesn't take any damage despite the rather scrappy nature of that one. The Augs and the Op. And a 3 versus 4. 4 Nouns. Only flashes remaining for them as well. Evan, though, for the time being, for a brief moment longer, is alone at long with the bomb.
AUG is good at close to mid-range, especially the one-shot headshot. Could work out for Cryptic here, as he needs at least one, preferably 2, to bring it to a 2 versus 2.
Ideally, all 3.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. He gets the dink. Oh, that's unlucky. That's
Everything
really unlucky.
but 2. Yeah, so close yet so far. Op exchanged over to Evan from Taven. Junior now on site has 2 at long range that he can pluck away.
Keep an eye on mid here.
This magic lurk activation, it's pixel perfect. He gets right by Clasia. Should get this kill. Maybe not. It might be Junior next at bat. He doesn't pull the trigger. He tries to swap back. 8 seconds left. Bomb has to go down. Instead, Taven wins it the old-fashioned way. Catches Clasia, who jumped up catwalk. It was touch and go. It was down to the wire. But looking for Org, pull that round out of the hat.
They pulled it out of the hat, and a rabbit and maybe a dove along with it. Some magician's work for Magic and Company. And it took a little bit of luck. That 98-1 from Cryptic out long. If that's a kill, it's a different story. But now, we return to gun rounds. Double op setup for Nouns, with Peeping holding onto the secondary.
An interesting call. Where is he situated? Over at
Upper
B.
tunnel.
One at B and one at Catwalk.
No real mid control here.
That was a chunky nade onto Evan early on long. Momo can't win the duel head-to-head like in the round prior. Instead, he'll just do indirect damage, and very good read from him. Magic lurking out mid, catches Clasia on a timing. Clasia swaps the nades right before the peak came through. Now an immediate adjustment is called towards long. No one's holding it proper anymore. Momo's headed for the hills. And Nouns are looking to put up a hold on this site from Catwalk rather than from site proper.
That's a good save by Junior. Keeps Cryptic alive. And now they have a pretty good idea of what's going on here. Smoke's coming down for the cross. Junior blows one open, but it's a little bit late. Merle's crossed up and looking for that pick. Utility raining in from looking for Org, trying to scale onto the bomb site. Cryptic has a molly. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that across. The Molotov countering from the T side will prevent him from doing so. Momo domed by Evan as fire blooms upon the A side proper. Now Nightblade looks to get it in. Junior still tucked in towards elbow. Peeping up on Cat. Cryptic coming through CT. 4 versus 3 hold. Good tag by Peeping, but double op retake. Not an easy task ahead of Nouns. As the ops ring out. Finally one rings true. Nightblade blinded. Tabin saves him. As it's the ops towards Cat. Peeping swap to a dog, but he is also taken out. And Junior kicks a field goal on the last pair. And so LFO, they stave off a pretty scary situation and now get themselves a nice opportunity to close the gap to 2 with Nouns on an imminent half bye at best. And it all started with that opening pick.
Yes, it did. Half by comes through. Cryptic is the one on the scout this time around. Deagle for Clasia. P250 for Peeping.
Tabin just took it back to the back.
I think he got shot by the scout, did he not?
Maybe he did.
It's hard to tell. I heard the op shoot, though. To stack A, like the call, it is the right read. But looking for Org have been a team to rotate around the map very quickly and very proactively. Nouns need to find a way to entice them into the site or take the fight to them early.
There's one from Evan. Cryptic had that scout. No longer in his possession. Blind. Evan sprays. Magic there to keep him alive. As the double swing came through, Junior finds one on the scout. He goes for more, and he does find 2. The half bye for Nouns only comes up with a pair. And a pair of rounds separating these two teams, and a pair of rounds separating Nouns and Map 1 victory. They had it pretty well in hand, and then they let it slip here. Looking for Org up against the break. Found themselves a way to stay alive, and off the back of that technical timeout have done quite well. Nouns have not won a round since.
Yep, momentum stifled by it. And now Nouns go for the tactical timeout to talk things out, change things up. Their economy still wasn't great heading into this round. MP9 for Cryptic. A FAMAS for Clasia. Junior does have his op at least. Cryptic should sell that helmet. It's useless in a round like this. The pressure is most certainly on. Nouns lose this. They're likely on a save yet again. It'll be 11-10, and then by the time they get another rifle buy, it'll be a tie ball game at 11 apiece.
And Nouns are putting a lot of eggs in this basket now, in round 21.
2 FAMASs
it's an
as
awful
well.
risk. Yeah. FAMASs and an MP9. Yeah, the FAMAS got a buff. It's not that big of a buff.
It's kind of sick now, I won't lie.
Well, we'll see if Nouns can be sick with it. Nouns don't have a lot of utility left either. A lot of HEs, but no Molotovs to stall a push. No Molotovs to keep a bomb plant from happening. It's going to come down to the firepower. And they do not have the advantage in that situation.
They've given mid away for free.
Junior at car is going to have to do it all. It's a 5-man cat push. And he got one. He's got the first. He can buy time for rotations. Maybe find a second around the elbow. Takes a flick. Doesn't connect it. Nade's going in. Junior's trying to scale away. Good nade on his retreat. And he's bought time for his teammates to come through, but the bomb's going to go him down. 4 versus 5 hold now for LFO. Oh,
more nade damage, though. 3 players about half HP because of that. And the op, as the last alive on full HP, it's going to struggle in the, what, 4 versus 5 at this point?
Yeah, the MP9, where is it? It's coming up catwalk. More nades in. The op's no longer full HP. And now Cryptic can come flying around the corner, but it's timing by Tabin. Peeping, looking to whack-a-mole his way up onto catwalk. Now jumps up. One from Nightblade onto Junior. Momo, though, knows where 2 are. Time is out. Time is up. Nouns got to bail. They get the kills, but they don't have the round. And LFO draw within 1 here. Evan goes down with the ship. But they bought enough time. They've done enough. And it's almost tied again. 11-6 to 11-10.
But the 3 surviving with rifles means that they can still cobble some sort of buy together, especially if they got that op after the round ended, which they did. It's actually, did they get 2 ops? Did they get both ops out of that round?
They have both ops out of that round, yeah.
They got the 1 car, they got the 1 cat.
Uh-huh.
Now this looks even more interesting. There's no more MP9s in play. There's 1 from us still, sure, but
I don't know how I feel about the double op, though. It didn't work out well for Nouns the last time they had it. And I value peeping more as a rifle than as an op.
I do as well, but
Oh, there's one.
he finds the
He won
opper's
the
duel,
duel.
no less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gets legged.
All
But
I gotta do
that's-
is say that I don't trust him with the op, and he'll go get kills.
That's proven more than it's worth now. He's still just back plat of B as well, and this is probably the best position he can play at this point with his low HP. Looking for Org again, spreading out. 1 holding B push, 1 harassing catwalk, 2 at long, waiting for the smoke. Momo's here though. He's in pit. He will be tested. Spots 1. Team flash in. Good flash on to Nightblade, but Nightblade still wins the duel. And Merle's posted on the angle with an op in hand. Magic now springs upon catwalk and looking for Org, found the pixel perfect opportunity to find their way into the site. That was expertly played, exploiting the whiff spray from Momo and Pit. 4 versus 2. Do they have a smoke for the cross? Though the answer is no. And so they'll have to deal with peeping posted on the crossing. Merle finds 1. Magic gets the bomb plant. Now it's anybody's round.
That should be the round, though. Nouns don't want anything to do with the retake. Look at their money, Nate. There is none.
Yeah, 2 versus 3 is a little bit too much to ask, especially with peeping as low as he is. Evans
Yeah.
keen on hunting. He doesn't have much money in the bank, but it makes sense to hunt.
Anybody else?
It makes sense to go for something here. At least damage.
Yeah. If he can take out peeping, that's huge.
Blazer
Play
gets
good
1.
peeping, get 1 apiece, Molotov in, and that's a nice shot from Nightblade on the op. 3rd player to have it in this round for looking for Org as peeping just hiding behind big box, trying to stay alive. Shots fly around the box, and he will survive. The op will be brought in again. But Momo needs that kill from Pit. Absolutely necessary for the round. And it's not there.
Feels like a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, the
Nightblade's
flash
blind.
was in. The flash was perfect.
It's very unfortunate. MP9s to complement that saved op and a pair of M4s. No kit in play, despite Junior having 2K in the bank. And Cryptic 1050.
Yeah, I don't like the lack of a kit here.
Yeah, they don't need to penny pinch that hard. If they lose this round, their buy's already going to be compromised going into the final, so why bother?
Yeah. And if they lose the round because of 5 seconds versus 10, they're really going to rue the day. But a good opening pick, good flashbang in from Junior to allow the MP9s to push up Catwalk. They'll have to try and back away. That nade's going to do some good damage, but Evan still finds Peeping trying to push through door. Now he'll pop up, but he does get one before he falls. Evan's been a monster with some of those headshots. Absolutely incredible as Tabin takes a leg shot from the op of Junior. It's an even 3 versus 3, but the health does slightly favor Nouns here.
It's touch and go. Cryptic's close long. No real support to be spoken of. There's no flashes left, but he's an MP9. The issue is he's getting aggressive. And this could be what opens the round for looking for Org. Is Nightblade is posted and ready. They'll now train forward. And Junior's trying to close the space sitting car, but that's a one and done.
Yeah, there's 3 players coming his way. They do not have a Molotov for him. Klasia is here as well. Oh, he's got a leg through the one. He almost had the Colat. Klasia's here to help. Time's running out. The Molotov might just do it. As Magic runs in, Junior has it. As the collateral doesn't get 2 on the initial, but it does get 2 in practice. And Klasia coming through helps him stay alive. Nouns take the lead into the final round of regulation of map 1 of our best of 3 tonight. And looking for Org. They had 5 in a row. Was finally stopped by Nouns. And let's see what the buy is going to be like for LFO here, as their money was not exactly great, and it is not good. An op for Tabin, a Deagle for Evan, a P250 for Magic, a Galil and a K. The utility is sparse, and there's kits across all 5 of Nouns.
Desperate. That Deagle of Evan in towards underpass middle. Wouldn't even one-shot headshot at that range. Won't stop Tabin, though, from winning the Opera's duel. That's a big head to find early. Junior was approaching 30 kills. He is found as the opening casualty instead. Peeping, it's his turn at bat. That was a missmoke for a cross to B, and Peeping will exploit it. Nice shot through the wall into Tabin, not an actual kill, but still good damage. Same on to Evan now. Looking for Org, finding it very costly to go up Catwalk. Momo now in position. Big time for the stand-in to come alive. Here's the steps. There's to swing. Spot comes in, good damage, but no kills. Instead it's Peeping to find one. Momo looking for something. Merle, though, finds one, and Tabin another. Cryptic at long, trying to play the headshot angle, gets one. That nade will take down the bomb planter, and it does. Klasia walking up the ramp now finds Tabin, and it's all up to Magic. P250 Super Soldier versus 2 with 25 seconds. He's on Catwalk. Spots an upgrade, grabs that. Only a Galil. He's weary of long. They're not there. Swing together from Klasia and Cryptic. And Nouns don't require overtime, but they do require every round in regulation.
Yeah, Nouns limp across the finish line of their map pick. It was not clean. It was not ideal. And they got quite a bit of luck on their side to make the trip to the lower bracket after today as well. It's not going to be a fun time in the lower bracket very shortly. So for LFO, you really want to maintain your advantage and stay up here in the top half.
Yes, you definitely do. Speaking of those other games, Blue Jays, we were talking about that in the green room with the Blue Jays starting out 3-9 down on their CT side. They took it 13-11. Brought it all the way back on their T side. It's a rather impressive stat line on a map like Mirage, but
I thought that one's in overtime.
Is it in overtime? It says 13-11.
Oh, it does, yeah. No, I was looking at the general and it said 14-11.
Either way, that should not be possible.
Yeah. Sorry, Counter-Strike used to be first to 16.
That's true, that's true. But we do have our match to look at, and okay! Cryptic. A nice one-shot with the dualies. Normally, they're known for their volume of fire. Instead, they're known for their precision in the opening of this round. Nightblade jumping around, spots the shadow of Klasia, but misses the execution. Merle gets the trade, but it's still an advantage for Nouns. Momo next at bat. He has support as well from Cryptic. Looking for Org. They can find this player Catwalk. They might have a way back into B.
That was cool as a cucumber from Klasia. Normally you'll see players flip around like crazy in that kind of situation. You just played it slowly, calmly, and with precision. That was really well done. Now Cryptic goes for the volume of fire, gets himself 2 more out in mid, and Magic has to pull something out of his hat to try and make this pistol round go their way. The bomb is down, so realistically Nouns don't need to go for the punish here, but it looks like they want to, and Cryptic wants more. Cryptic says feed me, and he wants more food. He wants more kills. He's going to keep going, and Peeping will deny his IGL the extra morsel. But all is well that ends well. And Nouns with a pretty clean and confident pistol round, bolstered in large part by Cryptic.
Very solid start for that IGL. Hat trick for him in the round. It is also interesting to note that Nouns, they didn't pick this map, so they had their choice of start as to which side. And they chose CT, despite the fact that both teams are at least statistically better on their T sides. So we'll see if that comes to play once the rifles come through. Nouns, an SMG-centric investment. 1 rifle on Peeping. And Junior, outside of A main, gets 2, gets 3 before falling. That's a lot of cash to be built up. Bomb plant not possible as Klasia races forward for the final 2. And that is a succinct one for Nouns as they quickly bat away the pistols with minimal losses.
Yeah, just the loss of Junior. And given the fact he got 3 kills, he got his job done. He built his bank up. He'll probably try and go for an op here, and he should have enough money with plenty to spare for utility. Yeah, indeed. Op, utility, not sure if he has a sidearm or not, but the way Junior is, he probably won't even use it. Good start for Nouns. They just have to do it against the gun round. They did elect to start on the CT side here as well. Keep in mind, this is the map pick of LFO. Junior does get the opener, but he is tagged incredibly low. 2 HP off that opening engagement. Peeping around that smoke, has to be careful not to get caught out. He will do the catching for 1. Re-smoke over in towards the elbow. And he goes back for a 3rd and almost catches Nightblade here, who's going to have to fight his way out of this. Converged on by 3, finally put to bed by Peeping. Leaving Merle back alone in towards T-spawn. Molotov onto his position, and they'll just wait it out here. Don't lose Junior. Major Junior. That would be a good idea.
Jumping up now, so we can get an upgrade here shortly. But they know Merle's probably here.
There's only a couple places he can be. That confirms it. Don't push it. Don't. Okay, I guess push it. Well
Peeping
done from
some.
Peeping.
I said, give him some confidence early on. 4K for him, 5 total thus far. And it's been 3 rounds. Looking for Org, really neglecting that catwalk push. They expected it on the first. Peeping gets that first kill. Then the second player gets distracted by Cave and is shot in the side. And then the third is lucky to be alive because he falls back through B doors. That's the only reason he lived. Looking for Org, a major oversight when it comes to fighting Peeping there. And that gives Nouns the first rifle round.
LFO RT set it on this map as well. 59.2% win rate on the offense. Only 52.6. Still a decent number on the defense. But a utility in hand again, not respecting the cat push that you just highlighted, Nate. 3 kills coming the way of Nouns. Making a 4th as Momo pushes down the B ramp. The bomb is captured, and the last remaining has been spotted out behind in T-spawn. Just a matter of time before he falls. Cryptic's coming through spawn. There's 3 players around the catwalk watching the angle, and backstab from Cryptic. Nouns a confident, flawless anti-half buy, and a 4-round start here. It is not their strong side either, Nate, but their numbers are slightly better against better competition. 2 wins recently against Getting Info, the other team in the top half of the bracket that got a bye into the second round in the upper.
It's funny, these 2 teams played this very same set of first 2 maps in the regular season of ECL. That was quite a while ago, as I mentioned. It was in January, the late January stages. And Looking for Org took both maps. And Ancient wasn't even close. Nouns have 4 of the 6 rounds they got there. Yeah, for Cryptic here, no, it's for Nightblade instead. The MP9 doesn't have that
He did
stopping
get dinked.
power. Yeah,
And look at
headshot
Merle,
for
too.
headshot. Real slow. Utility's already not good for looking for Org either. Just Molotovs and one smoke, some flashes and a nade. Still 2 on B. It's Momo and Peeping here. Nightblade could get caught with utility out. No, he swaps back to his rifle. Momo caught by a boost over the smoke, and Nightblade wins the duel in towards Cave. That is the round. Almost guaranteed. Junior has an op, very unwieldy in the retake. They're down by 3 players. Klasia has an AK that would be nice to save for the next round. But looking for Org are already looking to hunt these players down. They're very keen on dropping what they know to be at the very least an op.
They're going to go for it. Will they be successful, though, remains to be seen. Junior misses his first contact. That is not a good start for him, as that confirms his position. Klasia does get 1. Junior misses again. Strike 2. Backing away, Junior will go for a Molotov to buy himself more time, but he is now the last one standing as Klasia falls. Nade will do a tiny bit of damage. And now the 5-7's out for Junior. Choking up on his bat a little bit, will not get a third pitch. And so he will survive into the next round, or next inning, for continuing with the baseball metaphors. And LFO, first gun round, or second gun round, really, and they get their first round on the board here. Still plenty of money to buy for Nouns, though, and we'll see if Nouns get caught off again like that. I don't think they will. Nouns adapted pretty well on that CT side on Dust2.
Yes, they did. They're proving to still be quite adaptable in spite of their recent changes. Momo is the one to find the first. Drops Nightblade early, and I believe that was on a spam. I don't see where else it could have come from. And that is a big one to find early.
Unless
I don't know if it was it through Cave or was
spam.
it through? Oh yeah, so was it Jag or was it the half wall?
It might have been the half wall.
It's a 50-50 given where he is. For Org, need to be careful of this press in Donut though. Merle caught throwing a nade. Good trade from Klasia. Solid spacing to drop Evan. 4v2 secured. Magic and Taven. Both outside of B. Splitting up. Cryptic, though, has a very solid position. Should have Taven dead to rights here. There it is. Bomb dropped. I believe the one ramp was spotted as well. Magic trying to find the op of Junior in a 1v1 duel. Momo should have him dead to rights. Yes, he does. In the cubby. Gets the kill. And Nouns isolate that one victory from looking for Org and also prevent a bomb plant.
Yeah, and they win it quite confidently as well. The mid-scrim works out well for, you get the opening pick, the spam from Momo, who gets 2 in the round. That's a great start for him to build some confidence. You get a pick from your op. You get that 1-for-1 trade, which countered with Junior's pick, ends up being a 2-for-1 out middle. So, bit different in the impact of the overall scope of things, plus the opponent, too.
That's true.
Eventual winners. Nice opening there for Junior. It's good to see Momo having more impact in these rounds as well. But with Peeping falling, this is actually becoming a bit of a contentious round. Look at Merle's position.
It's awkward. 3v3. Do have Klasia holding for this flank. He was spotted as well. Cryptic in Jaguar is expected. Good kill from Evan. He's had a very quiet second map after his solid performance in the first. Peak comes in, a rare Junior miss. And now things get even more awkward. Klasia tagged down. They should know that both Nouns players are here. Junior just the tag, not the actual kill proper. Only 1 bullet left in the gun. 30 seconds left. Bomb is still at their feet. For Org are going to make a move. Spam comes through. Junior finds one. Junior a second. But he's low on HP, and Kalasia whiffs the spray. Junior, a 1v1 now, 6 HP. And Evan's gonna go for the stick. No fear whatsoever. Junior shotgun hopping. They're gonna pass like ships in the night around the pillar,
gosh.
but Junior knows he's here. Evan has an inkling as well, and Evan is the one that's more proactive. A second on the board at long last for looking for org, an upgrade as well. Nouns, though, should have enough economy built up to soak up the losses.
It came down to the wire. Junior almost pulled it off in the end, but a gutsy play by Evan keeps him ahead and gets him a second round on the board. An aggressive push from Peeping and Kalasia leads to a 1-for-1 trade. Kalasia thinking about going forward more for it. Cryptic might just push through, but he elects not to with that flashbang. Momo, though, around the ramp. Junior caught, and so is Cryptic. Momo has to do it all alone. He will not last either. 2 from Nightblade. Kalasia, 1 versus 4, runs through fire and falls to the ground. Magic. Good couple of kills. Same with Nightblade, and Nouns' aggression finally called out and shut down by LFO.
2 rounds in a row for them as well. And next to no economy left for Nouns means that looking for org are now well primed for a resurgence in the dying embers of this first half. Could bring it back to the same 7-5 scoreline we saw in the first map. It's pistols. 1 deagle. I think that 2 actually. A P250. I don't think Junior will have an op in the final round of this first half either. Not unless they can find one in this round.
If they save the one from Tabin and bring it over.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Well, they've got one. That's an AK for Kalasia, and the way he's been playing. You can't cut him out of this.
No, you can't. He's already, or at least it looks like Momo's already lighting up utility. Thought he was going to save that gun instead. It's actually Momo the one falling back. 2 versus 4, Kalasia. Gonna be keen on saving the rifle. No surprises there. Momo will stick around for an exit. That nade will do so much. Actually, does less than I thought. And 2 players are already heading in the direction of that 1 rifle. Momo gets an upgrade. He's traded. And Kalasia is spotted. He'll get 1, but he'll get blindsided by Evan, who's all the way back in A main. No rifle saved, but okay damage. Not that it matters at this point.
And no
Final round
op
of the
for
first
Junior.
half. No. It's going to be rifles for him. Back to the doldrums.
I think if you're Nouns, though, you're really hoping for that 8-4. You had so much potential to make this half excruciating for LFO. Now they have a FAMAS and 3 M4A1S, 4 M4A1Ss, some utility, only 1 defuse kit. To make that happen, Nate, it's okay. Not great, not bad. Could have been better, could have been worse. Slightly below average, we'll say.
Crazy
That's a
push from
huge
Merle.
shot, though, yeah. Some of these pushes from LFO have been nuts.
That Molotov lineup had to be premeditated because he gets through it, and somehow the B-side's just cracked wide open. It's Peeping and Junior, FAMAS and M4, now just FAMAS, and a 1 versus 4, and looking for org, somehow find the second wind, and now likely bring it within 2, as Peeping is the final nail in the coffin. 5-7, return to form for looking for org, as we hit the halftime break. LFO find a second wind towards the end of the first half, bringing it within 2 rounds as we hit the second. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic, and Nouns now on the offensive. Again, on paper, they're better of the two sides. The question is, will it actually be the case in practice against such a formidable foe? Bomb going for a double fake. It's actually over towards A, while a 2-man fake is thrown towards B. Evan and Donut tested now. Caught by Peeping, a big one to find. That's the site now cracked open. Bomb should go down ASAP. There's already a bit of a flank in play for Junior over towards mid.
Glasia goes with one. Momo hits the dirt. Glasia still around on site, trying to stay alive, runs into 2. Cannot back away, but here comes Peeping. He'll trade him out. Double up in Donut. And a double clear coming in. Nice one from Peeping on the drive-by. Dual Berettas cannot get the second. Junior now buying time, just staying alive. Has all the information and time on his side. Backstab, free headshot. Pistol round, both opening and second pistol round converted for Nouns, and that sets them up nicely for this second half here. Will we get a force spy from LFO, though, is a big question. Only on 3 kills.
Is a good question. I like that play from Junior. Initially, I was against it. Play with your teammate in the 2v1, but tucking in without giving away the info and then getting a free kill on the player as he runs back to site. Very heads-up play from Junior. And we don't get the force by either. It's full USPs. 1 flashbang for a mid-push. Peeping needs to be careful with this rifle. Get an SMG up there. Taven instead finds the first. Peeping gets 2. Evan gets a team kill. It's a bit of chaos in middle, with only 1 casualty on the side of Nouns.
Peeping's having himself a map. A lot of big impact multi-kills here. Both. I mean, yeah, the anti-eco, it's a lot easier to get the multi-kill, but it's not exactly easy when you have 5 USPs running at you. So that's a big multi-kill for Peeping. He's had several of those in this map. Glasia's been doing well. Junior's been doing solid. So you have your top 3 again for Nouns performing well, but Merle's had a very quiet map so far for looking for org. Evan has been incredibly quiet, and Magic's the one at the top of the scoreboard, the only guy with double-digit kills 15 rounds into the game.
That's a big concern for looking for org. The individuals are not firing as you would hope. Nouns on this bonus. Merle is very close, one and done angle. Needs to be careful,
especially with an A1S.
He's reloaded, so he's giving away a spot. Does need to move because of that.
That's well placed. How does that? Oh, it bounced off the ledge of the floor. The step.
Yeah.
That's unlucky.
Merle gets out. Nouns are stacked up on Cat and outside B. Glasia wanting to return spam there, and if that's actually Junior who does so, catching Merle. That's a big spam to find. And that is the opening in this round now. Looking for already backing off of this B site. They can feel the take coming through. Magic, though, racing forward. They have support. Cryptic and Cave and Jaguar, I should say.
All 4
probably
here.
Next at bat. Now Peeping finds 1, though. Magic, another, sure. Momo doesn't clear the other player close left, and that's an issue. Magic doubles down. That's the bomb going into Cave as well, is it not?
Oh, no. It is,
now
yeah.
It's stuck. 25 seconds left. Smoke it short is now gone.
No util.
18 seconds to just unseat these 2. Good shot from Glasia, though. He's the one to bring things back under wraps. And now secure double digits and also break the first rifle round. That might be what breaks LFO in this series.
Can't count LFO out yet. Remember, it was 11 to 6 on Dust2. LFO brought it to 11-11. So right now, Nouns still have work to do. Job is not done. To quote the great Kobe Bryant, job's not finished. And we'll see if they can finish it. Momo gets the opening. Cryptic flies around, but it's Peeping to get that one. He's had a whale of a game, so has Glasia. Cryptic will get 1, as does Glasia. So only Junior now left without a kill for the team ace. We'll see if he can find it, as it's a Nightblade around towards mid. He'll be found eventually, whether the flank or whether the push towards the site. He will be unseated. Flash goes in. Klasia gets blind too, and he will spray him down at long last. 11-5 now. Flawless victory for Nouns. Expect Cryptic to drop that Mac 10 and buy an AK here, as they'll know it's a full buy up from LFO. Op out for Tabin. Don't see the fuse kit though, unless Nightblade picks it up. There it is. He'll also grab a helmet, so only one player on LFO will have a helmet. There is the M4 in hand for Klasia. But this is really LFO's last chance, and they do not use timeouts.
No. Last chance in this map, in this series by extension. At least it is still the upper bracket. Cryptic. Just get Merle here. Pushing forward, catches the player reloading. No, doesn't get the kill. Then it's Evan to find peeping as the opening. Cryptic takes half damage through the wall, but also gets a kill in return. Actually even footing. Evan trying to swing with his own flash, caught by Junior, combining fire with Klasia. Looking for Org, have rotated in, but can this op close get the shots? No, it splits the goalposts. Second player also known to be there is tagged. This feels like the window of opportunity closing for looking for Org. They're finding themselves in a 2v4. Unless Nightblade can find something quick.
I think they're going to save, Nate.
Oh yeah, now they are.
Yeah, they're not even going to go for this. The Overton window has shifted. You might even say it's been blown wide open for Nouns and slammed closed for LFO. What can looking for Org do here to stay alive in the upper bracket? Anubis, map 3. But Nouns have 7 chances to close out this series and drop a 2-0 victory to move into the upper bracket final. And when we looked at this bracket, we'll see it at the end of the night, whatever time that happens to be. When you looked at the bracket yesterday, Nate, did you think that Nouns would be one of the 2 teams in the upper bracket final?
No.
When you look at the playoffs as a whole, the teams that were in the playoffs, did you think Nouns was a team that would be in the upper bracket final?
Actually, you know what? You know, with the bracket, it's more of a chance. But without the bracket, I would have said no.
Exactly. You look at Legacy. You look at Blue Jays even. You look at NRG, who are battling for that spot against Getting Info for the upper bracket final. Another team in Getting Info that you could see in the upper bracket final. I mean, I would say even Marsborn had a chance at it.
Nouns, given their recent hamstringing and also looking for Org is kind of an unknown in my mind. Definitely not 2 of these teams I would expect to be vying for it. Klasia middle finds 1, finds 2. Peeping a third, racing up B, looking for Org are falling flat. On map 1, they'd at least make these rounds contentious and close. This time around, they simply have been unable to do so. Tabin and Evan both pushed A main, both alone versus the full fleet of 5 on the Nouns side. You have a kit, not much else. Good flash for Cryptic. It's a well-oiled machine for Nouns. Evancaw, the last one. He gets a first kill, but on 19 HP, he's playing for pride at this point. Then Nate does it. Junior puts him away with a bucket throw. 13-5. Nouns make shorter work of their opponent's map pick than their own and secure this with a clean sweep to send themselves to that upper bracket final.
Yeah, very confident and content map for Nouns. They just